the definitive guide on how to trigger boomers. Now, quick disclaimer. I understand that boomers are a far better generation than us, despite the bad rap that they get, as they actually have jobs. That's a start. That everyone goes, oh, they ruined the housing market. But so would you, if you were in their position, as if you wouldn't cash out on that sweet, sweet land. I honestly think we are a worse generation, and I'll get to the reasons why later on. But for now, just so we have the scientific formula down pat, should we need it, let's figure out together how to get that face from your parents of... Number 1, make sure you buy a shirt that has Putin's face on it. Bonus points if he looks like he's taking a pass at your mum by winking. Bah. Anyone that CNN hates, you get their face on some piece of shitty merchandise. That's why I always have this handy, and I'm always sipping it very obnoxiously when Pa's around. Name a better vice president than Pence. I'll wait. So that's a 2 for buy a Putin shirt and a Trump mug, and I guarantee you'll get the response, what is the matter with you? Which, as we all know, that's catching the golden snitch of pissing off boomers. Number 3, make sure you talk about how shit Tasmania is as a holiday destination. Nothing angers them more of them going, oh, I just went to the Monet Museum and that museum sucks. Have you even been there? How would you know? Also, just point out to them, have you ever, in your entire life, seen an ad for Tasmania that isn't spruiking a cheese and wine platter? They will rack their brain for hours going, I'm sure there was one in the 80s. Because that's all they care about at the end of the day. They don't actually give a shit about the beauty of Tasmania. They're just like cheese and wine. The boomer generation is just a bunch of French mice. Go to Coles, you snooty rodents. After you've hit them with the jab, get them with the uppercut of saying, sea change wasn't that good. And then when they respond with, well, why do you think that? Respond with, cause it sucked. That's it. Don't give them any specific reasons. They will go mental. Not as mental as they'll go if you take a shower and don't hang up the bath mat afterwards. Leave it on the ground, because I think that feeling of squelchiness under their feet, that is their numb if they didn't go to it. Or maybe it just triggers post-traumatic stress disorder, and every time they feel that squelch, they're just instantly teleported back to some Vietnamese swamp going, Johnny! Why else would they hate it that much? It's not that bad. Just put it up yourself. It's half a second out of your life. And if your socks get a bit wet, that's okay. Did you know it's possible to take socks off? You don't have to be wearing them in summer. Also, if you're at a boomer's house and you haven't said within the first 3 mouthfuls of one of the meals they've prepared, this is pretty good, they will seethe with rage until they melt into the ground like Fukushima. Why is that pleasantry mandatory for boomers? So good, thank you so much. Does anyone our age care? I suppose the hypothesis hasn't ever been tested because no one in our generation has ever prepared anything for anyone ever. They've always just gone, let's just get Uber Eats, fuck. All right, now I say the next thing with a huge warning. If you say this to a boomer, be prepared that they might hit you, even if you're a fully grown adult. When they ask you about your super, you say, quote, I don't know anything about it. I don't even know where it is. That one phrase proves that that entire generation suffers from mass OCD. They cannot compute that you haven't been looking into the $50 that you have somewhere in Australia. And bonus points, if you just want to be completely disowned, when they say, well, that isn't going to work, we're going to sit down and call the free government hotline and work this out together, go, no, I'm going to the movies, and just leave, and they'll just yell there going, come back right now. Also make sure that it's a really shit film like Power Rangers. And actually on equal terms, there is theoretically 2 phrases that you could say that would warrant the same level of outrage. One is about superannuation. The other is not knowing what your primary school friends are doing as of this minute. When they ask, whatever happened to Kimball? If you respond with, that is the first time I've thought about Kimball since I graduated in year 6. I don't know. He might be dead. And judging that his favorite pastime used to be pegging rocks at cars, I'm pretty sure he rubbed someone the wrong way by now. But hazarding a guess isn't good enough. You need to have facts and figures backed up for what your primary school friends are doing. And if you don't, their response will be, well, you can't just let that friendship die. Give him a call. Dude, he was in year 6. We didn't have phones. It's been 20 years. The friendship's dead. This is just a quick one that actually relates to the Putin shirt. Whenever a boomer says, well, that's just disgraceful, you respond by going, I don't think so. This one I kind of like to think as being the judo of interacting with boomers, because you're kind of using their own strength against them. What you want to do is when they get off the phone with their phone provider, and then talk to you about how wronged they've been, usually over specifically $37. You turn on the PlayStation, you stare at the screen, and you wait just a little bit too long to respond to them going, "Can you believe that?" And you go, "Yeah, that sucks." Oh, I don't know why I bother talking to you. I think boomers don't understand it. We're not interested in trivial bullshit unless it's on a screen. I can't believe you're not even listening. Nathan Drake is about to make the jump. He needs my support. Also, just to make a little vein in their brain pop, when they ask, "Can you go take out the garbage?" you respond with, "In a minute." Every time you say "in a minute," it depletes a boomer's life by a year, so use it sparingly. Also, what takes off 5 years of their life is when they come in and say, "I asked you to do the dishes twice." You respond with, "Fuck off!" Boomers are disgusted by the phrase "fuck off" because it combines two extremely offensive things to them. One, swearing. Two, telling them to go away. They really hate being told to go away for some reason. And actually, on closer reflection, I fully understand why. Because yes, we get it. It's your house, it's your food. There is essentially this man living in your house that is only there purely because he came out of your vagina decades ago. And he is sitting there playing a PlayStation that you bought for him, using your electricity that he is definitely not going to chip in for, and telling you when you ask him for the slightest return on that huge favor to get out of his presence. And in classic millennial style, having fully understood the psychology of that, I'm going to exploit it more. And finally, last but certainly not least, I know from experience, this pisses them off. Not paying turmeric supplements. This is a combo move. This is that super punch in Tekken. When they say, "You should try some of this turmerics," you tell them to fuck off. The rage is worth the awkwardness that ensues for days after. How good is using this medium that boomers don't quite understand to spread information on how to make them angry? But you know what? I actually have never tried turmerics. My dad gave me some, insisting that I try it. I will do it now, and I'll give you a review to see if it's actually good or not. But what boomers don't understand is, just because we say that something is shit, doesn't mean we actually think it's shit. Boomers seem to be jealous of our ability to walk around in the day and not be sapped of energy. And that is the ability, I think, to be sarcastic. I don't know if any boomer possesses that capacity. Here we are. 1 heaped teaspoon. It's always heaped. On all boomer supplements, it always says heaped. Why doesn't it say get a really relaxed dessert spoon for once? Just to vary it. But anyway, any boomers that were watching, and let's be honest, it'll be about 7 of them, this one's for you. The peace pipe of your generation, if you will, drinking turmerics. And just like everything else they recommend, it just really tastes like hocus pocus bullshit that costs $70. So when you press like on this video, and you will, make sure that you're practicing thinking about it being Putin's face winking so that you get that really ingrained into your head. Doesn't matter if you like Putin or not, you tell boomers you like Putin. Make sure that you also click the notification bell, and I will see you in a couple of days with more suggestions like this that I guess they're kind of life hacks, but they kind of make your life worse. Sometimes you just got to take one for the team, don't you?
Please share and comment below. Comment.